So the difference between pro skaters and regular skaters is the pop. Pro skaters pop everything much higher, so they have more time to catch it, and they're more consistent because of it. So there are a few different ways to improve your pop. The first way is losing weight. When you're lighter, you can pop a lot higher, and it doesn't take as much energy. So skateboarding itself is a good way to lose weight, but I've found if you're skating to lose weight, sometimes you get injured. The heavier you are, the more likely you are to get injured. So one good way to skate to lose weight but not get injured is tramp skating. When you're tramp skating, you can fall without getting hurt, you can land primo without getting hurt. It's not really a big deal. And I found when I'm tramp skating, I actually burn more calories, I feel more tired, I really wear myself out faster. One good way to lose weight is to move to a warmer climate. Now that's not possible for most people, but I know when I'm in a warmer climate, like Florida, I sweat more, I get more exercise. When I'm in a colder climate, a lot of times I can't really get outside or get any exercise and I end up gaining weight. Also try to eat healthy. I know it's more expensive, but it definitely helps you lose weight and it helps you get more pop. I've been trying to just eat vegetables and hummus for most meals. Just like dip the vegetables. I've been trying to eat carrots and hummus for most meals, and it definitely is helping me burn some weight off. It almost tastes like you're eating real food. So we can't all be built like Luan Oliveira with a tiny little scrawny torso and really long lanky legs. We didn't choose the body that we were born in, but we can do the most to optimize what we are given. So messing around with the actual board itself can definitely help you get more pop. Sometimes people like a steeper board, sometimes people like a mellow board. For me, I like it to be kind of mellow because it hurts my back ankle if it's too steep. And you also have to think about the fingers of flat right here, so that's the area of flat between the back truck and where the tail starts to curve up. So if it's a little longer, more flat there, you got more of a mellow feel, so you got to think about that, adjust that for your preferences so you can get a better pop. So there are definitely exercises you can do to improve your pop if you build up your calves or your legs and you don't have a lot of upper body but you got a lot of lower body, you're gonna have better pop. Also technique. If you got your back foot here, you need to move it back all the way to the tip of the tail. And if your front foot's right over the bolts, maybe move it back a little bit so that you've got more movement. You're popping right on the tip of the tail and you're dragging your front foot farther up, also boning your ollies. So really sucking up your back knee. So the knee on your back leg is really sucked up, even higher than the front knee, but sucking both of your knees up, sucking your legs up higher is going to give you more pop. Tramp skating is a lot of fun. I think most people who have $300 to buy a trampoline from Walmart or something would definitely enjoy it, and they would get a lot of benefits out of having a trampoline in the backyard. It's great exercise and it's not a lot of impact on your joints. Sometimes running or skating can cause a lot of impact on the joints and just make you feel old. So the trampoline makes you feel young again. So there's a lot of benefits to tramp skating. With a tramp skateboard, which is just a skateboard with no wheels and no trucks, it's a lot lighter, it's a lot easier to flip, and you don't have to worry as much about landing primo or landing wrong because it's completely flat. If you land primo, it'll probably just flip back over one way or the other. It's actually a really useful tool to help you learn how to flip the board. You're never going to have as much air on your regular skateboard as you do on the trampoline unless you're coming out of a ramp or going down something. But if you are doing those things, it kind of gives you that idea of how to flip it and how to catch it with one foot or the other. If you're learning certain flip tricks that you have to catch with your front foot or your back foot, it's definitely worthwhile to invest in a trampoline if you have a backyard. So being on a trampoline will help you learn if your shoe has a good flick or not. To do a kickflip on the trampoline, you hang your heel off a lot more than you do on a regular skateboard. Because when you're hanging your heel off, you get a quicker flick. The more you hang your heel off, the faster it flicks. The more you're on the board, it's harder on a trampoline. Some people can do that on their regular skateboard, like Mike Moe, have their foot
hanging off the opposite way, pop high enough to flick a kickflip. But on the trampoline, you almost have to flick straight down at first, which is not what you do on a regular skateboard. So start off just jumping with your feet over where the bolts would be. Have your heel hanging off a lot on your flicking foot and flick straight down. Do that a few times. And then over time, you want to try to flick out right to the nose or the pocket where your nose starts to curve up like you would with a regular skateboard. And it can teach you how to get that front foot out of the way and let it sit up in the air, and how to catch the board with your back foot. So a kickflip might not necessarily be the first trick you learn on a trampoline. You probably want to learn to shove it first, which is just jumping, having your toes hanging off on your back foot and scooping the board around, catching it with your front foot. You can even start landing them one-footed, scoop it, catch it, land. After that, a 180 might be next, which is just turning your shoulders and trying to drag the front and the back of the board around with you. Trampolines are kind of slick, and as long as the bottom of your board is also kind of slick, adding wax isn't really going to help. After that, you can do 3 shoves, you can do big spins, stuff like that, and eventually you can get where you're doing late pressure flips, inward heels, varial heels, heel flips, 360 flips, and a lot of other tricks on the trampoline. I know Sam Tabor doesn't live that far from here, and he has a series where he does skating on his trampoline, tramp skating. He does that a lot and gets a lot of views doing it. I've never really had any successful videos doing tramp skating, but I really enjoy tramp skating, and I've always done it since I was a little kid. Sometimes you just can't skate at the skate park. You go and you just can't land any flip tricks, and you come home, you jump on the trampoline, you can land everything, and in your brain, in your mind, you're like this pro skater. It's kind of like doing yoga, you know? You get more flexible. I wish the ground was like this, like a trampoline park everywhere you go, you know? I think life would be a lot more fun and people would be a lot less stressed out if the whole world was a big trampoline park. Another good thing about the trampoline is when you do fall, it doesn't really hurt at all. So you can be brave and you can try new things without having to worry about getting hurt and being out of skating for a while. You don't really roll your ankle on a trampoline either because it's so soft and it kind of just mushes different ways. I've been jumping on a trampoline since I was a little kid, and I have never rolled my ankle on a trampoline. I also wear really thin shoes. That's always good when you're trying to not sprain your ankle. These have holes in them from skating a lot, but they're really thin, really flexible. I take those thick insoles out because a thick shoe is going to make it easier to roll your ankle because you'll land on the side of it and it'll just pop right over. So on a trampoline, you don't have to learn to ollie. You just jump and you just push the board down and the board will just pop up with you. So it might not happen right away, but over time, it'll start popping up with you. The ollie on the trampoline, you can actually push down on the tail when you're jumping, slide your front foot up, and even it out in the air. So the pop you can't really practice, but every other part of an ollie or any flip trick you can. So I know you guys couldn't hear that snap because I was filming in slow motion with no audio, but that was a really loud snap. I broke a board just tramp skating. And this was the board I was gonna skate next after the board I'm currently skating. And yeah, I mean, I totally snapped this thing. That's when you know you're heavy, when you start snapping your boards just tramp skating. Yeah, that's really sad. You gotta watch how you land when you're tramp skating. Use an old board, don't use a brand new deck, because this might happen to you. Now this was just a blank from skateshred.com, but still, it hurts. I really wanted to skate this board. It's the same size as I'm currently skating, same shape. So yeah, this is my backup. I desperately need someone to invent a half pipe that's made out of a trampoline. So it's a trampoline, but it curves all the way up to vert on both sides. So you can bounce up, you can do flip tricks, bounce back down. Now maybe that's a bad idea, but would that not be the funnest thing in the world? Or, you ever seen Tramp Skate's channel, where you can bounce from one trampoline to another, grind on a box or a rail? That's pretty fun too. I had an apartment with, well, it's a duplex, with 2 trampolines in the backyard and an element bench in the middle. This was like 10 years ago. No, it was more like, it was longer than that. I'm old. So I did the same thing with curb covers. I made a video talking about how I need somebody to make a little thin piece of steel with rubber on it that you can stick over curbs and you can grind on them. And 6 years later, we had curb covers. They saw my video and made it. I just asked for somebody to make it. And you might think that's kind of prideful to think you invented curb covers that way. But the thing is, I definitely did. Like, no doubt in my mind. So a lot of my videos are like Kanye when he's off his meds. This video was more like Kanye when he's back on his meds, kind of boring. You know, but I hope you guys got something out of it. I don't take any meds. You know, I don't take any vitamins or aspirin or anything. I eat food. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, scroll through my channel, check out my other videos, and hit that subscribe button because I got a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching.